Alright, this is a quick test to see whether Logisim using the trace analyzer can catch a infinite loop. So here we are going to write an infinite loop. You just need a label and then JMPI back to the label itself. This is pretty much as tight of a loop as we can get. And then what we'll do is we can assemble this program, which is cat loop.ttpsm, pipe it to xclip dash cell clip, and then we go to the assembler, do the usual stuff, get rid of column A, paste our super simple program here. I mean, I know what the code is going to be anyway, but uh, it's good to just kind of go through this process here. And then we download the CSV as loop.csv. Now we go back to the command line and just run the program, which is loop.csv, and then redirect the output to loop.tsv. And the first thing you might notice is it won't come back, okay? Because usually it comes back in about 2 or 3 seconds, and now it's not coming back. Type Control C on the keyboard, and what that's going to do is it will interrupt and you'll stop Logisim from working. So now we can take a quick look at loop.tsv, which is going to be a big file. Yeah, this is kind of big. We can also check out how many lines it has. So this one has got 40,029 lines, um, which translates to rows. So we'll see whether the trace analyzer would break when we have a big trace like that. It's always good to see whether that works, right? We're just gonna push the tool a little bit, and we are gonna upload loop.tsv 3.4 megabytes, as a TSV file. And interesting, I've never seen this before. Huh. Okay, so we want to replace current sheet. Separator is a tab, and then turn off this. So this is a new interface. Okay, well, Google just changed the way they present the import file option. Alright, so let's give it a try. Well, guess what? It seems to be okay. Alright. Yeah, it's still chewing on it. We'll see whether it can finish processing this. All the data is in sheet 1 right now. What it is computing is coming up with the analysis tab. So the analysis tab is probably partially done, but not entirely done. Nope, it's not even done yet. Okay, well, the summary knows we have 40,000 lines, but the analysis tab is still not. Oh, there we go. So we got it. We got it. Nope. Okay, I take it back. This is my mistake because I forgot to put the no op instruction at the beginning. So the trace is actually not correct, because of the lack of a no op at the beginning. Alright, so let's fix that problem. So we'll go to the source tab here, and don't insert a row, because if you insert a row, it will mess up the assembler. So we kind of have to redo everything by hand like this. JMPI to main, There we go. So we go to the RAM file tab and then download CSV again. Yeah, I totally forgot about the initial no op instruction that is actually required in this case. So we're gonna re-download it to loop.csv, replace the one that we have already, and then we do this one more time. And this time I'm gonna type Control C a little faster because there's no need to generate a gigantic huge file when it's basically the same rows over and over again. Alright, so now we go back to the trace analyzer, go back to sheet 1, and it would be import, upload, and it is loop.tsv. There we go. So this one is quite a little bit smaller because I stopped Logisim a little bit earlier this time. Alright, so we want to replace current sheet, use tab, and do not convert. Import data. Alright, we're just waiting. Alright, so I'm gonna switch to the analysis tab because when it's done, it will be shown here. Basically, we'll be seeing exactly that. So it does work. So there we go. So you can indeed use the trace analyzer even when a program has a tight loop. So the trick to get this done, in a easier way, is to possibly have a way to limit how many lines you're going to log. Pretty sure there's a way to do this, on the command line, basically to specify, when we create the log file, we only want it to have up to a certain line number, and then after that, it's going to stop logging. Pretty sure there's a way to do it, but I don't know exactly how to do it, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. The other way to do this is to notice the start time of the whole thing and then take note of the process ID as we run Logisim, and then we wait for 2 seconds and then we terminate, forcefully terminate that particular process. So this way we basically only let Logisim to run for a fixed amount of time. So that approach would work too. Pretty sure someone can write a shell script to do it, or do everything on a single command line. But I'm not gonna do it. I can help do some research when I have time. To do this sort of stuff. All right, or we can do a quick Google search. I'm gonna do it right now because I'm curious. So we'll say how to time out process, and I'm using Linux, so we'll use Linux here. Well, there we go. Timeout itself is the answer. Oh, you cannot beat this. You cannot beat this. All right, so the command is timeout, and then we specify the duration, which is you can the suffix is the unit of time, and then we specify the command. All right, so it looks like it's fairly easy to do. I'm gonna try it now. Okay, so let me try that right now. All right, so we have the same command as usual, but at the very beginning, we just say timeout, right? So we say timeout, and we'll specify 2 seconds, and then the command that we are running. Yep, there we go. Oh, it cannot be simpler than this, can it? Well, if you're using Linux, right? So we want to now look for the equivalent command in Windows because most of you are using Windows. I suspect timeout is also available in Mac OS. So if you're using a Mac, you can try timeout, and I'm strongly suspecting it will work in Mac OS. So now we want to look for the equivalent command if Windows CMD does not have it. So we ask for Windows CMD timeout. And see whether we have it. Pauses. Well, it looks like it is the same thing. Um, Alright, so example, to pause the command processor for 10 seconds, do this. And does it time out a command? Nope, it is not the same thing. It does not time out and stop a command. Alright, so let's try something like equivalent of Linux timeout. There we go. Stack Overflow, and it says, so there. Okay, I guess the short answer is no. So you can use PowerShell and then write a script to do basically, equivalent to the timeout command in Linux. There we go. So so not the kind of solution that I was trying to find, but there is an equivalent, in Windows. It's just not pretty. But if you're using Linux, the answer is pretty simple. Just precede the entire command with timeout, and then the number of seconds. I would say 2 seconds is more than enough for most of the programs that we'll be writing. And that's it. It will just kind of cut itself off, automatically. Pick up the large TSV file as a result of that, put it into the trace analyzer, and it's done. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna upload this video quickly, and so that people can watch it.